Good afternoon. Welcome one, welcome all, and thanks for tuning in to today's broadcast of Hornet Lax. Live from Mackenzie Field, Kalamazoo College, I'm Tanner White, joined for the first time for Lax by Maya Pasillas.
Super excited. As you said, my first time broadcasting lacrosse. I did my research, watched the men's team a couple times, and as you can probably tell by their season so far, they've been doing pretty well. So excited to see how this one turns out today. Looking forward to a nice, sunny game day.
Yeah, would you believe that? The sun has sprung out upon us. I don't want to say that word, spring. It's Saturday, March 8th. Surely we've got to be approaching that. I don't want to jinx it here because we've seen that revert back, and you've still got snow along that far wall. What you don't have anymore, for the most part, is that WMU parking garage. That's mostly demolished. They're still a little bit in the process there. Nothing going on right now. Now, I've personally waited 315 days to say this, but welcome back to the MAC with Hornet Lax. The program itself had to wait a very long time as well for their home opener, having been delayed by certain trifles. There was a missing bus, a couple of classic Midwestern snowstorms and all that, but they were finally able to get back out on home turf on Wednesday the 26th versus Aurora. They won that one 12-9. They come in today undefeated.
And looking to keep that streak going, right? So, like I said, I mean, if it's going to be any day, today's that day.
And just another interesting historical note on this one, as they do welcome the Benedictine Eagles into town. The Hornets last started a season 4-0 in the COVID-shortened season. That was 2020. The program record for the best start, you might add. Did you happen to catch who beat them? It's just so poetic. The last team, rather, to beat them in that game, it was Benedictine themselves.
Ooh.
Whole lot of history now between them. Something to think about. Now we'll have lineups, national anthem coming at you.
Ready for the window?
Good afternoon, and welcome to Mackenzie Field on the campus of Kalamazoo College for today's men's lacrosse game between the visitors from Benedictine University and your Kalamazoo College Hornets. Kalamazoo College, the MIAA, and the NCAA promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and fans. We request your cooperation in supporting the student athletes and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, derogatory comments, or other intimidating actions directed at athletes, officials, team representatives, or other fans will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal. Now for the starting lineup for today's match. First for the visitors from Benedictine University. Number 10, Jack Whalen. Number 13, AJ Smurs. Number 14, Aiden Elliott. Number 17, Luke Grant. Number 18, Colin Doyle. Number 20, Dominic Flores. Number 36, Cooper Lilich. Number 40, Matthew Brunken. Number 41, Oliver Hulbert. And number 58, Nathan Theodorovic. And now for the Hornets. Number 0, Max Plesher. Number 2, Cam Van Galder. Number 4, Brody Quinn. Number 10, Jake Asnes. Number 14, Jack Bungart.
What's up, guys? How we doing?
Number 15, Colby Skinner. Number 19, Mitchell Van Galder. Number 25, Charles Graves. Number 28, Lucas Graff. And number 33, James Daly. At this time, please stand for the national anthem.
are just about ready to get started here on the MAC. The Hornets and the visiting Benedictine Eagles. Ooh, when we look at the time, I've got 1 p.m. right now. We might be a minute, 2 minutes behind. Maya, can you live with that?
I can live with it. You know, usually it's a little rough. We get lucky when it's an on-time start here on the MAC.
And nonetheless, the Hornets are going to go with Charles Graves again in goal. He's played the entire way so far, and the numbers, 25 goals allowed, they are certainly good enough at 528 save percentage, and very crucially, the 3-0 record. It's been Graves the entire way. Last season, they used 4 keepers, and now you add another one into the mix. I've talked with Coach Redco about this before during the offseason. It is a really good problem to have to say, I want all of these different goalies to play.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And then being able to have that ability to choose who you want to start and kind of have that confidence in all your goalies is really just like a positive for Kalamazoo, and definitely something that is a weapon pretty much in their arsenal.
Hornets leading scorers are Dylan Adkins and Cam Van Galder coming in. Van Galder had the 10-goal outburst last season to set the program's single-game scoring record.
Oof.
Really smashed that record. But there are a lot of other record-breaking performances. Should we see some guys, continue to produce at kind of their career clips that we could be looking at? And we'll get into a lot of them probably with Logan Gillis today, but that's kind of the number one that I'd highlight on attack for Kalamazoo. He goes 6'5", 185 from the Milford, Michigan area.
Yeah, definitely a player to watch. Honestly, keeping an eye on most of the players on the field. I think lacrosse is just such a versatile game in that sense.
Opening face-off, it's controlled by Benedictine's 10, Jack Whalen, and we're off and running. First ground ball control for the visiting Eagles. Charles Graves, as we mentioned, he'll be the starting keeper for the Hornets. Colin Doyle on the other side. The goalie stands 6'5", 230. That is intimidating, as I'm kind of just taking a glance at him right now, standing next to the Hornet attacker, Van Galder, down there.
Definitely that. I mean, I would be pretty intimidated coming up to that, I won't lie.
45 seconds into the first shot clock with the Eagles. From the X position behind goal. Around the horn, and plenty of patience. Wound up, now a shot blocked.
Oh.
There's a scrum as Graves had it controlled the whole way, made you look.
And honestly, already good defensive work there by Kalamazoo. So looking forward to them to keep that up for the rest of the game.
15, Colby Skinner with the flashiest head on the stick maybe we've ever seen here. Now Plesher splits a bunch. He wants to carry it. Shot.
Oh.
The jump shot. Scored.
Oh, he made that look easy.
1 minute and 17 seconds in, Max Plesher. And the little celly at the end, I think it's bowling down the lane. It's an uppercut. What'd you see on it?
I'm going to go with the uppercut. I feel like that's pretty sick. But, I mean, just making it look easy. Came down the lane super quick, cradling the whole way, and then boom, just spiked it. And we were talking about how that 6'5" goalie's a little bit intimidating. Well, I guess not so much.
There's also the sheer difficulty of moving around a little bit at that size. As a little check from behind here, the ball was knocked loose from Whalen, and turnover. CT. This team from Kalamazoo, they love those 2 letters, the cause turnovers. They rack them up at a fantastic rate.
And, that only goes to add to that win rate, right? It's kind of like we always talking about how those fouls lead up to practically winning the game. So it's a lot like that for Kalamazoo here.
This is shot a little bit wide, not bad looking. Might have gotten a piece of it, did the keeper.
I think just a little bit of a ricochet, but got some words here from the official.
We're taking a look down at the table. Kind of an unenviable spot to be, but for the fact that you get to sit out in the sun.
Oh, yeah, and, we don't get sun that often, I tend to notice now, so
Yeah.
it's a little bit lucky, so I guess you got to take your negatives with the positive if you're out on that table.
It's hit and miss in the month of March, I warn you. Possessed far out by 7, the attacker, Adkins. Adkins is doubled. He'll give it off. Teague Breeden out for a long range. Save, Doyle.
Oh, good save there.
Ground ball to Ben Lafreniere.
Yeah, and that whole kind of attack there really was set up by how Kalamazoo uses that X zone in the back of the goalie. Really, I'm curious to see how both teams utilize that zone and how they can set up those attacks.
Gonna have a bunch of guys with a shot at this ground ball. Jack Bungard among them. Eventually, the Eagles get it in their own end. Dominic Flores, their LSM. Rather, he's got the short stick right now. Off of a line change. You got 12 minutes, 10 seconds showing here first quarter. Max Plesher had that first Hornet goal on the jump shot. 1 minute and 17 seconds in. Another patient offensive possession. And pass way too high up and over. Aiden Elliott, the attacker for the Eagles.
Yeah, definitely something the Eagles are not want to be giving up for the rest of the game, especially since they're kind of doing really good on that around, just making sure there's good ball movement all around the field, and I'm seeing a lot of good work in that sense. But if they give up on passes like that, it's definitely going to cause them.
Ronan Honda, he's handling, you got the flag down. This will be assessed on the dead ball. Hornets feel like they've got man up. Historically, we'd suggest that's likely. Who's going to take this shot? Will it be Honda? Honda wants a blow by right side, and down low, stick saved. Now the penalty should be coming out, and I believe we've got offside. First man up should be coming at 11:06 here of the first quarter. We'll get it from the table in a moment, but that's what you've got. The initial indication was offsides. Hornets 4 shots to 1, 2 for 2 on the clears. Yet to win a face-off so far. Still, the 13.8 caused turnovers a game from last year. They've just almost picked up even better. They're at 14 a game right now. That is outstanding. We've already seen it flash a couple of times. Hornets with the man-up opportunity, 30 seconds.
Ooh, that was good there. Kind of knocked it out from behind the back.
Was a nice poke, but Asness, a good ground ball pickup. Flow and all. Now you got to whistle. Is this another look toward the sideline? In the Eagles kind of bench area? Nonetheless, after time in, this is mishandled. Asness, turnover. And that'll likely just about quell the man-up opportunity. The offside was called on A.J. Smurs. Still waiting for the ready for play. Doyle, the keeper, ready to take it himself. And Asness ready to put the pressure on, but just the dichotomy of seeing those two next to each other, you know. And Asness is tough. He's shown that, and not undersized at about 6 foot 170. But Doyle is built a little different.
Yeah, but again, I mean, like we were talking about earlier, we would be intimidated, but then we just seen that shot, and then, I mean, it kind of takes away that intimidation factor a little bit.
And you've already got that goal on the board. You've gotten the first one up there, so you're thinking, well, okay, no shutout, we go from there.
Exactly, and just building from that and keeping the momentum going.
Great on-ball defense from a couple of lawn sticks there, including 28 Lucas Graff. A shot blocked, and some great hacks from Graff. Graff still pestering. Skinner in there, 6-car pile up. Who's going to come out with it?
Oh.
The yard sale. And Jack Bungart, I mean,
Oh,
again,
wow.
if you've got your telestrator and you're watching this one, you got to circle him with the big red circles and the arrows pointing to this guy. Bungart is on a tear right now. 8 caused turnovers in the first 2 games of the season. And the team has cleared at a 90% rate. Opponents have cleared at a 60% rate from their own end. That spells disaster. Bungart is everywhere.
Yeah, and I mentioned how the Eagles just have good ball movement overall, but honestly, the defense from Kalamazoo is really what's keeping them at bay.
9 minutes to go here for the first quarter. Still just 1-0 Kalamazoo. They had the 1 score from Max Plesher unassisted. And the Eagles thinking, boy, how are we really going to get shots up right now with Bungart and some of the other long poles just menacing. Colby Skinner among them as well.
Exactly, and they just kind of keep passing around, kind of just trying to see if there's like an open passage for them to kind of go in and attack. And Kalamazoo really making sure to close all little loose ends and not giving them any opening, really.
32, Robert Schroeder. Schroeder from the point. He'll get it back. Now to the offensive left wing. Bobbled a little bit from 23, Moussa Diallo. Schroeder right back to the point. Still not a satisfactory shot. That's underhanded on a couple of hops. It's a long run, and that's going to still stick with the Eagles. That is great hustle. I believe that's 21, Leif Sigmund.
Really good hustle, and again, that kind of was just a weak shot there by the Eagles, and it's all credit due to Kalamazoo and just good defense right here.
Not a whole lot of creases to be had. This is tipped. We're going to see who last got a stick on it. I'm guessing that's going to stick in this end again. Yes, it will.
Yeah, good outside positioning from the Eagles to kind of maintain possession overall.
Bungart still pestering. Out from the right wing. Save Graves. It almost came loose and it trickled on in. Ooh.
Not.
Or did it? Oh my,
I
I think you had the defender clear that off of the goal line after Graves got the save, right?
Yeah, just scooped it off the line, I think.
Wow, it's about as close as you can come. Graves made the first save, looked pretty clean. Then as he couldn't come up with it, I think he's thanking his lucky stars. Sticks at 1-0, Nets. Here's Grayson Pratt, senior from Vicksburg. He goes 5'11", about 145. Pratt 11 in white. Now Adkins, a great dump off the shot wide. Van Galder, he will think about that one.
Yeah, and on that whole possession, you can kind of see how Kalamazoo's doing a really good job of opening up the field and opening up passages for them to get those type of shots off.
Adkins back for Pratt. Pratt's got 3 goals on the young season. Adkins maybe wanted a one-timer. He lost it. And ground ball taken away. Lafreniere.
Yeah, a bit of a misstep there, though, so it's going to lead them to bring it back.
What a thread of the needle there from the defender, Theodorovic. It's a great clear. Not an easy pass. I mean, you're going to see a lot of long sticks try and make that, and it kind of goes wherever it will.
Yeah.
Not really where they want it. Oh, and another yard sale. They're going like hotcakes right now. Come get your crosses.
And another good pass all over to get Kalamazoo on the offense.
Adkins lets a couple of changes come on. Adkins will be pestered right now by 40 Matthew Brunken, the deep hole. And you got a whistle. Team turnover here. 5 minutes, 34 seconds. Still just 1-0. 6 shots on goal to 4 in favor of Kalamazoo. The keeper, Doyle, still having to do a lot of work to help on these clears. They're going to ask him to make a lot of passes. Theodorovic again winds up for just a bit too long, perhaps.
Just a tad.
He got all of that one. Now here's the thing, is they also had the one attacker down there, Elliott, to keep them with possession. That's shot wide from Luke Grant. Graves has got a couple of saves so far on the shots on goal against.
Yeah, and it just looks like the Eagles are trying to get Kalamazoo during transition, but again, Kalamazoo just doing a really good job on their defensive side right now.
And nobody with any unsuccessful clears. I figured we might see plenty of that today. It was an area where the Hornets had some struggles last season and where they are menaces to others. What a great job towing that sideline. Now a big shot in the back, but still a successful clear from 29 Martin Wells for the Hornets. 4 minutes, 20 seconds, first quarter. Nets off of the subs again. 23 Teague Breeden just came on. And now the ball will find him. Here's Pratt. Pratt off of some help defense, gives it off. Van Galder blistered wide. It's going to stay down there. There's Asnes.
Yeah, and Kalamazoo again just doing a really good job stretching out that field, and I think if they can just bring it a little bit closer, that could have been in.
Adkins up top. Save Doyle. Still, the possession continues with Asnes picking it up again. He's going to shoot again. Van Galder should keep it right back there.
Oh, yeah, and that one I know was a little bit scary there for the Eagles. I mean, almost in, really.
A bit of a tight angle, maybe the only thing. That surface area of the goal that you get to shoot on then shrinks a little bit. There's a shot buried, Asnes.
Oh, that was like a catch and shoot.
Well, when you're open, why not let it fly?
That was perfect. Just, again, great positioning by Kalamazoo, and it looked like they almost had that play chalked up. But that could have, I mean, that comes down to practice, right? Really the fundamentals, and, like, that really looks like something that they run probably in practice a lot, and it just came off so easy, and now they're up 2-0.
It's Asnes from Van Galder. Asnes, that'll be his 5th on the year. Off the face-off, the Eagles had the first touch at it, and a violation on the face-off. They will get it back. So I believe you still have the Hornets with no face-off wins. Yeah, that is what it shows so far. Eagles 3 of 3.
Yeah, that's a pretty interesting aspect of the game, but I think it also goes on how you attack after losing the face-off, which I think Kalamazoo has been handling pretty well.
After the ground ball pickup. Yet under 3 minutes here for the first quarter. The Eagles, well, pretty much suffocated so far. It doesn't quite start and end with the keeper Graves. However, for a freshman to come in and take all the minutes immediately, I'm really impressed by this first quarter. Are you?
Oh, and extremely impressed. Like I said, I thought this was going to be a fun game, and it has turned out to be so far. Just really good movement in offense and defense overall by Kalamazoo so far. So looking to see how they can stretch this for the remainder of the game.
Plesher cradles with the right hand. Here's 48, Ethan Hibsch. Hibsch out for Honda. And now Tate Bless just checked on. Freshman midfielder. A lot of size on the young guys. Bless goes 6'4", 190. Spin around and a shot a little wild from Van Galder. Mitchell Van Galder, that is.
Yeah, it just looked like he kind of lost his positioning on the field and thought the goal was a little bit more to maybe like the right or left than he thought.
Honda to his right, spins, back left. Dipping the shoulder, thought Van Galder maybe wanted to take that to the rack. Minute 45 for the quarter. Nets 2-0 still. In no hurry, but this shot clock will not run out, barring a reset. Keeper down to a knee, a little wide. Tate Bless will have it to bring it back in for the Hornets. Shot clock did not reset. Halfway through said shot clock at 40 seconds left. Van Galder, good poke. Van Galder lost it. He's got it back. That was 37, Jack Dardis.
Yeah, and just good movement overall by Kalamazoo here as they move up and down, trying to really widen the field again and create those passages as I keep talking about. It's really working out for them in the one-on-one game.
Hibsch with the clock a little bit lower now, out for Bless. He's going to have to back down. A good-sized defender. Now an interception. A beautiful one. And what a recovery, too, defensively. James Daly to stop presumably what would have been a scary fast break.
Oh, definitely. And the Eagles, like I mentioned already, trying to get Kalamazoo in transition. That would have been a break for them.
And that would probably have been the only chance that they'd gotten so far for the entire quarter. Daly just threw the stick up perfectly. Not out of the woods yet. 15 more seconds for the Eagles to put one up here. They'll put it on goal. Not quite. Little wide. Looks like they're going to stick with it. Aiden Elliott has, I think, gotten his cardio requirement for the day, but he's got a lot more running to do right now. Under 10 seconds. Elliott carries himself. Was that outside the goal? I thought he put it in. He did.
Yeah.
That is an illusion artist type of move, but man, he snuck it in.
Yeah, definitely a tight angle there, so just a good shot. Really got to tip the hat off there, and it was a really tight angle. He still almost maybe got a lucky bounce off the top of the bar there.
Yeah, that should be Elliott unassisted at 5.8 seconds left in the quarter.
14, Aiden Elliott.
2-1, one more face-off, something of a formality most likely. And no control established either way, so that face-off should be a push. Well, now 2-1 after a first quarter that was, for as little action as there was on the scoreboard, still entertaining, still physical.
Oh, definitely that. And again, I probably talked about it a lot on stream throughout the first quarter, but just overall movement from Kalamazoo has been a really good start for them. You can see it on the scoreboard. Unfortunately, they let one in right last second there, but overall, I think Kalamazoo's play has been really well, and I'm looking forward to seeing them stretch it out for the remainder of the game and continue to lock down on the Eagles because, again, that defense has really been key for them so far.
So the stats for the rest of the quarter, they show like this. The Nets shoot 12 times. They got a couple of goals. The first one, Max Plesher. The second one, Jake Asnes from Cam Van Galder. And then right at the very end, Aiden Elliott snuck one in himself in a very, very tight angle. 6 of 6 on the clears for Kalamazoo. I find that massive. Mentioned that they had a great number of difficulties at times last season on clears. This year, 9-19 coming in, almost 92%, and that number climbing up right now.
Yeah, and that has to be due to the work that they put during practice, right, and really working as a team to fix those mistakes that they've noticed last season. So definitely on the up and up for this KZoo lacrosse team.
I don't think I really iterated enough how much of an improvement that was. You look at the Nets last year, and their clear percentage for the season, 75.2. To now be, you're approaching 93, 94% when you add in what we've seen so far today. Unbelievable change. Truly night and day.
No, like a complete turnaround, and I like completely, like again, like you said, it is hard to grasp just how big of a difference that is, but I can just tell, like, off the work that this Kalamazoo, like, all the Kalamazoo teams really that put on and off the field, I mean, it really goes to show just the effort that they've been putting to fix and continue to grow as a team.
Yeah, things are clicking right now. Again, they're hunting down at least a tie for that best start in program history today at 4-0. Now everybody still wants to know, who are you when you get to the end of, you know, your regular season play with really fantastic conference opponents in the MIAA, and then, of course, who are you in the tournament when you get there, if you get there.
Yeah.
But a fantastic start that maybe if Coach Redco were even being honest, if you asked him, did you expect all of this? I don't know. Would he say yes with no hesitation?
Exactly, and again, it's about continuing that momentum. Like, if you're going to have this type of good start in the season, it's about how you can push your team to continue that throughout the season and then not just lose it in the conference play. So continue to push that, and really that's going to be probably the biggest challenge that Kalamazoo faces.
Yeah, I hear you. You've had teams that came in with a lot of hype. You've already seen a few in the fall, right?
Exactly.
And then short of the tournament and the expectations and things for again a number of different fall teams. First possession here is down to 30 seconds in the clock for Benedictine.
Yeah, and already kind of looking like a repeated cycle from that first quarter. Just a lot of movement on the outside there, not really able to break in just yet.
See if they have a late cut to set something up. They go for a long shot down to a knee. Save Graves. Lucas Graves, well, first shot here, good as ever in the first quarter. Clear is good for the Nets with Bongart. Bongart give it off for Adkins. A minute and a half here into quarter number 2. The Nets with their first chance on attack. Still, they've yet to win a faceoff. If you're harping, if you're complaining and looking for something to perfect, ooh, perfection is the placement. Mitchell Van Galder put it in.
Yeah, and I mean, even on that play, if you could just zoom out a little bit and kind of see the space that Kalamazoo had to get that shot off, I mean, really, that's going to be something that the Eagles are looking to fix so that they can stay in the game. They still got 3 quarters to go.
It was stick side. It was maybe not so hot after it came off on the bounce. I still think Doyle probably had a good chance at that. Maybe he screened off a little bit and didn't have a great look at it. But nonetheless, in the back of the net. Assist for Adkins. 3-1 Nets. That's scored at 13-18 second quarter. Benedictine looking to get one back. Out to 2, Dylan Skura on attack.
Yeah, you seen there, he's kind of just scoping out what's the best direction of play here.
See if they go back out to Skura again at the point. They will. Skura out for Elliott. Elliott been probably the busiest member of the attack so far. Good ball denial, forces it to the X spot. Nets have some numbers there. I mean, seriously, these sticks, are they buttered up? Did you have some popcorn pre-game or something? Because there's another yard sale out there. I think we had a little bit of a timing issue. I was watching the clock run for a moment. See if they reset it down at the table. Shows 45 at 12 minutes and 3 seconds of the quarter. And we are going to get a reset on the clock to see if they throw a couple more minutes on there. After it's reset to 12:15, here come the Eagles attackers. And a beauty of a cause turnover. Kobe Skinner mugged him, took his lunch. Plesher, Asness, great movement. Van Galder dipped, ripped, couldn't get it off. And now slow it back down. Out for Ronan Honda.
Yeah, just going to look to reset now.
Honda for Hibsch. Mitchell Van Galder. And you also got 26, Vincent Tran stepping on out there, a senior for the Nets. Hibsch back for Tran. Tran making his season debut today. Back for Van Galder. A shot
Ooh.
blistered hairs wide.
Yeah, just wide. And even then, like right when I was about to call out the positioning, you've seen a lot of gaps in the field. And it's just, I think it's the type of defense that the Eagles are currently running that are just really leaving Kalamazoo some open passages to kind of get those type of shots off.
They do only have 10 seconds, speaking of which, to put that up. They'll shoot, save Doyle. Another one where those rebounds, and as it's bouncing real loose, got a little bit interesting. Now it's controlled. Colin Doyle continues to be under fire.
Yeah, Kalamazoo applying some pressure here.
Doyle throws a rainmaker. Now everybody's going to be pointing this, that, and the other way, and we're not going to have any agreement here, but Benedictine's going to keep it down there.
We'll say it was a little close to call, but I guess it can't really tell who could have came out with possession there.
The deep hole graph was the closest Hornet. All right, move on. Clock running to about 10 minutes here of the second quarter. 32, Schroeder. Off for 17, Grant.
Yeah, and a lot of the same from the Eagles, just moving around.
Bungart, an assault with intent.
Definitely made a statement.
That is exactly what earned him the MIAA Defensive Player of the Week. Bungart, within the rules, within these white lines, wants to hurt people.
Definitely out.
You do get a timeout called here by Kalamazoo. So we'll get, I think, even more chances to talk about Bungart here because of that last hit that he put on, because of that MIAA Player of the Week award. Also, the USILA D3 Team of the Week. I mean, he was kind of collecting all of the accolades last week and earned it big time.
Yeah, and it's coming into play here, and I keep bringing it up, and just you're probably going to get tired of me saying it, but it's really all coming down to this defensive play that Kalamazoo's running. I mean, Eagles are really trying to keep up with it, but Kalamazoo's not leaving a lot of open passages for them, and it's just coming out to get them.
The scoring on Kalamazoo's side hasn't really jumped off the page at you, arguably since 2022 when they set the team record for goals scored in a season, and you had some of the all-time greats on that team. And, of course, near and dear to me, some guys from my class, Dylan McGorisk, Jack Loveland, a couple of guys that you'll find at and near the top of the all-time goals list here. But the defense, the sheer step up that they've taken, you know, you could say since that 2022 season, you could say from this year to last year, all of it, it's just trending so far up, it leaps out at you off the screen.
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, and it really just goes to show you really just start to see it when you're playing a team like the Eagles that are kind of running like this. They're really sticking to a man-to-man defense, kind of really similar to maybe basketball. And it's not entirely working out for them. And I think they're probably going to, even though the timeout was called by Kalamazoo, they probably took this timeout to kind of talk about ways to kind of break down the Kalamazoo defense. And it's going to come down to if they can break down that Kalamazoo defense. So, I mean, we have 2 quarters left after this one to find out. And they might even take the half to talk about it. It's really going to see how they can respond to that defense and create better offensive chances.
Yeah, chance being the operant word. How many scoring chances would you really point to for Benedictine? But a handful, not so many. Nets 3-1 out of the timeout. They got 9 minutes and 30 seconds till the half. Have not trailed yet. Adkins handled. Winding up for a shot. And I think we've got another little clock issue. They're looking at the table again. Adkins will be ready to take it back in on the ready for play. If we get a reset here, we'll take a look at the shot clock out in the field. It shows 66 right now. Are they going to reset it to full? Well, they took 1 second off at 65. Okay. Yeah, there's nothing we can do about this. We are powerless. We are at the mercy of the almighty table. Adkins, couple blow-bys. And from low angle, wicked. Did that thing stay out too?
Oh,
Doyle's got the luck of the Irish right now.
Yeah, because that one almost seemed into me. I even thought the net moved off, movement from the ball, and I'm surprised that wasn't called as a goal.
Boy, from our angle, it looks like it's 5-1 right now. It looks like both of those balls that have been in that exact kind of situation had trickled in. We can't see right down the goal line, but gee, how close can you get? And that's not to take anything away from his performance at goal as he continues to get peppered. A possession to calm this thing down coming up for Benedictine. Just 10 seconds into this new shot clock. Really nothing doing pretty much at all for them in the quarter. That one's sniped. Down low save, Graves. Bungart was close. I don't think he got there. It will be possession to the Eagles. Down in that furthest corner where we've got to lay out the window, my favorite.
Yeah, definitely going to reach out, especially corners during soccer season have been interesting with this booth.
And that's sniped and scored. Bottom right. That's Musa Diallo puts it in, and the lead gets cut. So it's still just 3-2.
Exactly, and if it makes kind of makes me feel a little better. I'm watching the replay on the stream of the last Kalamazoo chance, and I mean, me personally, I think that would have been a goal. So definitely maybe some missed opportunities here for Kalamazoo, but again, I do still think that their defensive play and their offensive play is just weighing out the Eagles currently, and I think if they can kind of push momentum back on Kalamazoo's side, then we'll be seeing a lot of more goal-scoring opportunities for the Hornets.
It certainly has not started with the face-offs yet, and this is probably going to be another one. They are, in a way, losing some really, could be valuable possessions on these face-offs because Eagles are all over that right now.
Definitely that, and this can just be another kind of just spot in their game to kind of clean up for the Hornets and look at for the rest of the season as if they can start kind of winning these face-offs and building more opportunities from winning the face-offs.
They had a senior Fogo last season in Sam Hughes, who was right around 50%. And obviously, if you get to at least 50%, you'd probably say that you're doing your job in that. They now really don't have a established Fogo per se. Bungart should give the Nets the possession this time. Good hustle. Sam Hughes, one of my personal favorites, not only for the fantastic antics on the field, but also my former teammate with football, a couple two-sport athlete here as well.
Yeah, I think we always mention on stream the dual sport athletes, right? I mean, oh my God, if I just think about the schedules that they have, I mean, me personally, I don't think I could handle it.
Van Galder lost it as he tried to put it up. And the possession should end. What a cradle job from Cooper Lilich. There are skilled long sticks out there for the Eagles. Those are on display right now. Now the numbers as well, but team turnover on Dardis. Ooh, and they called timeout, before I believe they were going to get whistled offsides. That's at 6:25.
Yeah, and
you might have hurt your own scoring chance there, right?
Yeah, I was just about to say that. I think that's not the best call there for the Eagles, but I mean, what's done is done, and I guess they're going to continue to look for ways to get on that scoreboard. Luckily, the score is now only 3-2. The Eagles looking up, but I think Kalamazoo can really bring it together and continue to score here. As long as they can hold the Eagles, I feel like we're looking at a good game right now.
3-2 still, and now the numbers have started to get close in a whole lot of ways, except 6 of 6 face-offs won by Benedictine. That's a tad bit hard to believe. The clears are starting to look more like Kalamazoo wanted. They are a perfect 10 of 10. That's huge, and Benedictine 6 out of 9, so the Hornets starting to force some of those turnovers in their own end. Boy, a lot of that starts with Jack Bungart too,
yeah.
right? have you had a defensive possession for Kalamazoo where you just didn't notice him?
No, I really haven't. And again, it's going to come down to just we keep talking about the defensive play. At least I do as well. And it's just really such a big part of that Kalamazoo team. And we talk about how they're really not winning those faceoffs, but I think maybe those clearances and all the other aspects of their game are trying to come and take over that part that they're still working on, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I hear you. The Eagles have about 60 seconds now on this shot clock, and they have just a 1-point deficit. Musa Diallo, their last score at 7:53 of this quarter. And they've got 14 shots as well. That's not a number to scoff at. You've got a freshman keeper in there for Kalamazoo. He had saved about 53% coming in. Gonna have to have a whole lot more of that. .30 on the clock, and thought he might turn and burn that. That's 30 Dylan Langley. Shot saved. Luke Grant. The keeper, Graves, out to clear. Oscar Sears, 24 in white right now. He might get sandwiched. Oh,
Ooh.
and he gave it right back.
Ooh.
Sears, while getting tripled, now Pratt, I think, ooh, is he going to avoid a penalty there? Pratt gave a shot at the end of that too.
I mean, credit to dropping two, I think there.
That was the most fun sequence I think we've had today. Forget all the scores. I want more of that. I'll play a 3-2 game here, see if I care. The Nets, again, they do that. They cause turnovers, and they are here to hurt people. It's between the white lines. It is between the whistles, but it means something. Save down low. It means something to just thump somebody, you know what I mean?
It really does, and I mean, honestly, it adds to the momentum that the Hornets are already carrying and can only help them in the goal-scoring aspect.
Yeah, you step back a little and you realize, okay, still, we don't love our scoring pace for the whole season, and obviously not a ton in this match either. You've got to have some ringers, right? Some goal scorers. It's typically been Van Galder and Gillis the last couple of years. And so far yet today, you sometimes question, all right, who is it? This is out. Shot wide from Teague Breeden. Not a bad-looking shot, and Asnes will keep it there.
Not bad at all, and I had time to set up, and it was just wide. I think he was kind of looking for that perfect, maybe in the corner type shot.
And not going stick side maybe gives them a better chance against Doyle. He has been strong on his stick side so far. Breeden struggled a little bit with the ground ball. Now he's got it. Adkins got a little room. Save with the splits for Doyle.
An amazing save by Doyle there. All credit to him.
Now a clear coming, and this one is good from Hulbert. Hulbert crossfield for Sigmund. Sigmund left wing, now to X. That's 13 Smurs. Smurs just a couple of matches ago against Augustana as Benedictine put an absolute number on them, 21-4. Smurs scored 7 of those 21.
Oof.
As Graves had this totally lined up, it shot a little bit wide. You got 41 seconds still on the clock and 2:55 until half. A 3-2 game, that's it.
Yeah, it feels like a quiet game, but it's not. It's hard to explain as now a little bit of a back and forth here.
Everybody's still stabbing at it. It's loose again. Now 2, maybe 3 more times. Finally, ground ball does go to the attacker, Smurs. Elliott, he's tripped up, and it's knocked loose. Bungart, flag is down, however. Likely, it looks like the Eagles are going to go man up. Now we'll see who they caught. That is Plesher coming off for the Nets.
Yeah, just a little stick heavy there. The pile up that they kind of had.
Plesher is called for tripping right here. First man up opportunity for the Eagles at 2 minutes, 24 seconds left, second quarter.
It's going to be interesting to see how Kalamazoo responds to being a man down now, seeing if they can kind of continue that defense.
Eagles on the ready for play. Luke Grant will start it. Grant's in no hurry at all. They want to run most of this. This would release before the end of the half, no matter how you cut it. That is saved from Graves. Now 2 more minutes. Hornets with a golden opportunity to kill off a whole bunch of this. It's a minute man down for them after the tripping on Plesher.
Yeah, I'm just kind of scoping out the field here, ticking off seconds off that clock.
Now only 10 seconds more to burn off. Make it 5. And tick, tick, tick. Plesher out of there. And I think we got timeout. Timeout nets at 1 minute and 19 seconds until the half.
Minute 19 seconds. 3-2 score. I mean, I kind of said it where it was kind of like, feels like it's a quiet, sounds like a quiet game, but there's a lot going on, and I think really I'm just looking for Kalamazoo to kind of create more scoring opportunities. I think that's probably the biggest part of their game right now that they just need to kind of grow on. We talk about the good defense that they've been having, so honestly it's just on the offensive side and maybe quality over quantity. I'm not sure here. I think I'm really just looking to see more shots off from the Hornets side.
The total shot numbers read 18 to 17. Not outside of what you would expect on either side, but again, the goal scoring outputs, those are a little bit lower. Last season, Kalamazoo scored 9.5 goals a game. Again, probably something that they weren't thrilled about per se, on about 39 shots. So not so far off of those averages, right? They assisted on 53% of their goals for the season. They're actually a tick up on that in this season so far, about 56%. But similarly, some of the offensive struggles have kind of reared their head a little bit. It's just, can you mask that with incredible defense? Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's definitely something that maybe is happening today, is that that defense is really coming in clutch. But really, I think they want to at least get 1 or 2 more in before the half. It's going to really set them up for the remainder of the game. And I'm at least, minimum, I'm looking for 1 more from the Hornets and kind of grow that difference to maybe a 2-goal lead. And that can really set them up with maintaining momentum in the second half and just being on their best front foot forward for the remainder of the last 2 quarters.
They got 25 more seconds on this clock. Van Galder one-timer. Oh, on the doorstep, too. Now, they should still have it down there. Mitchell Van Galder this time has possession of it. 20 more seconds on this clock. It was Cam Van Galder who missed the point blank. Honda for Adkins. Back to Honda. Only 5 seconds. He's got to get it right now or never. Bounced with just, ooh, okay, we did get the reset. It was close. Wasn't sure if Doyle got a piece of that. Now 60 more seconds. That's huge. So in effect, the shot clock can be turned off. And the same play set up for Van Galder. He was open too. Oh boy. And now Doyle again just chucks a haymaker. It's intercepted. Well, this might help. The Nets still have almost 30 seconds. Doyle might be kicking himself, especially if the Nets figure out a way to get one in here. And they will! That's wicked from Pratt.
Woo! That one was clean. I mean, that was like one-on-one facing the goal. Straight shot in the turf, and just in.
Grayson Pratt. That's the right place and the right time. He is the benefactor, really, I think, of a questionable decision from Doyle. If you've got 5-10 seconds left and you can heave a pass which eats up most of that, sure, then it doesn't necessarily matter where that pass goes. But almost 40 seconds as he let that go,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wasn't the best decision making there, and it really set up Kalamazoo. But all props to Kalamazoo for taking control of the opportunity and really just setting up one of the cleanest shots I think we've seen all night, where they kind of sent it down the middle. It was one-on-one with the goal, and just, I mean, it was gonna be in all day, every day. So just amazing placement from Kalamazoo, and that's the kind of offense that I'm talking about. They can continue to build like that, and I think like the best way I can put it is continue to play as if there's 20 seconds left on the clock.
I love that. But you've heard Zach Metz say the exact same thing often with basketball, and I love this. He's a fantastic basketball guy. Be quick, don't be in a hurry. When you start to go a little bit too fast, you start to, play beyond the boundaries of yourself, your body, maybe you trip on your feet and things. You can turn it over. When you're in control, as they were in that last possession, as they were, I think back to Plesher with his first score to open it. I mean, it's going to be a lot tougher on, I think, the keeper Doyle most of all.
Yeah, I think it's about playing with that mindset, but also maintaining like that level headedness and like maintaining like clear decision making. And I think maybe Doyle got a little bit nervous, sent that long pass, and wasn't the best decision for the Eagles.
Now, they did win this face-off. We've said that before with under 15 seconds, but they're going to have one more chance. Here is Elliott off a screen. He's got under 5 to put it up and should be off of the stick of Smurs. That'll be enough to run out the first half. Grayson Pratt with what feels like a pretty monumental goal to send the Nets into the half, doubling up Benedictine right now. We'll take a quick look back at the stats, and we'll see what jumps out to you, Maya. But I like 12 of 13 clears for Kalamazoo. I don't know about you.
Oh, definitely one of the biggest parts, I think, of today's game, and I think it's really making up for that, not the ability not to win those those face-offs,
Yeah, absolutely. You can't. It's almost difficult to lose when every clear seemingly is successful. And on the Benedictine side, they're 7 of 11, about a 64% mark. Not fantastic, but that's what Kalamazoo does to people. They're known to do this. The total turnovers read 10 for the Eagles and 8 for the Hornets so far. You got 6 saves for Colin Doyle, and for Graves, you've got 4 for Kalamazoo. The Nets scoring Plesher, Asness, Grayson Pratt, and Van Galder 1 apiece, and then Aiden Elliott and Musa Diallo with the 2 for the Eagles. That's the first half. This is the Kalamazoo Hornets and the Benedictine Eagles. We'll step out for halftime. Be back in, 10 minutes or so. Hey, make sure you don't go anywhere. And then we'll be back here for half number 2 in just a little while. Tanner White and Maya Pasillas from the MAC with Hornet Lax. Now, love it, hate it, or indifferent, we are just about back for half number 2. The Hornets and the visiting Benedictine Eagles. Kalamazoo will be holding the 4-2 lead as we come out of the half. I hate to beat the dead horse on face-offs, Maya, but the Hornets have yet to win one.
Well, I mean, let's see what they can come out of it here. And, yeah, well, the story continues, and I think that's going to be just an aspect, of part of their game that they're going to just continue to try to grow on, just as they did with the clearances.
It was Oliver Holbert who had the win. And now the Eagles will get the first chance to attack here. Start of the third quarter. 8 face-offs, all of them won by the Eagles so far. It jumps off the page a little bit.
It really does, and I think that's why Kalamazoo maybe has so many parts of their games to try to just make up for that. That's definitely going to help.
Ground ball to Bungart, easy. Now, where does he go to clear? It's Plesher, good feed. Hornets' last score, with just 20 seconds left in the quarter, was Grayson Pratt in the second, assist from Adkins. That made it 4-2.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how both teams come out of the halftime break. The huddles usually carry a lot of conversation that really bleed into how you play the remainder of the game. And I think for Kalamazoo, it's going to be continuing that defense that they've been playing and just growing on their offensive side. And then for the Eagles, it's going to have to be kind of closing in a little bit more on defense while continuing to grow that offensive side.
Atkins, blow by, kaboom!
Oh, and that's what I'm talking about. Straight out of the half.
Yeah, I think that's a good start out of the half. Minute and 28 seconds in.
Yeah, I wouldn't hold it past him. That was part of the conversation, right? Continue to grow that offensive part of their team, and here they are just continuing to grow upon that, and now just going to reset. I mean, just a beauty of a shot, really. I mean, I love it when they can kind of just almost looks like a catch and shoot, and that one just a beauty. So let's see if they can kind of just grow on this face-off here, and if they can win one. Just again, it's just a part of the game that I think it's just going to be something that they need to grow, continue to grow on. It's, yeah, just going to continue to look and see if they can just fix that in part of their game.
And an interception here from Plesher. So now, do we stop mentioning it, I wonder, entirely on the face-offs and see what happens? Maybe we switch up our techniques a little bit, see if somehow, again, we can alter the course of events here, the course of history.
I think we can try it. We could definitely try it. Just a good pass there.
Here is Ronan Honda after the good clear from the nets. Honda to Hebsch as he comes on. Again, it took just 1 minute and 28 seconds into this third quarter for the Hornets to put that lead up to 5-2. That's the biggest lead so far. An aggressive ride right there by Michael Lang, the defender. Here's Vincent Tran getting another little bit of work on this line. Tran wanted a pass back out. Now it's scooped up. Mitchell Van Galder, what a save down low.
Yeah, and I think that's like almost the second time that I've seen kind of that split save. Something you don't expect out of someone that's 6'5".
Yeah, a monster goalie in the sweatpants. He's moving. Eagles taking their time through the early part of this shot clock. They'll play Pepper, little two-man games. At their point right now, Leif Sigmund. It's another mauling. That time from Graff.
Yeah, just good defense there again by Kalamazoo, but a lot of more of the same, which is surprising from the Eagles. Just a lot of that passing around the outside.
Now they almost had the keeper Graves get yard sailed. That could have been interesting. And we should get back to, of course, how good Graves has been. A freshman called on to start the first 4 matches. So far, he's played every single minute. And the save percentage today, it shows he's made just 4 saves. But a lot of other ones that are close. Bungart might get another cause turnover here. He's a menace. And will he get the ground ball? Stop it.
Ah,
Knock it right off. Clear is good. Here are the nets. Asnes, great move. Van Galder dip and rip.
Oh.
Shot wide.
you wanted that one to go in. Just clean movement there.
For all of that work, it's a good thing that they keep it right back down there. Mitchell Van Galder will bring it in. Or excuse me, rather, you've got Adkins all the way over in the corner with it. Teague Breeden handling. Breeden driving left. Ooh, too wide. Have seen very, very little of that from Kalamazoo to this point. Well, I just out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, definitely something that you kind of just want to forget about, move on, and make sure it doesn't happen again.
Bongart again. Every time he puts the pressure on, you just have a feeling that he's going to find a way to get it out of there. He did for half a second. This is superlative. I mean, every single possession, you can't take your eyes off of this. It's Bongart versus everybody.
Yeah, and it's just continuing that pressure, and surprised he didn't come out of it in the end.
You expect him every time that it's just going to be a cause turnover, and he's going to win it, and they're going to clear.
No, really, I really do at this point. It's almost certain, maybe.
Benedictine still yet to crack the scoreboard here for the third quarter.
Oh.
Elliott, he is decked. And now the long stick Saxton, Max Saxton. Here's Pratt. Would have had an open Van Galder one-on-one. Just a couple of missed connections. Could have this 7, 8 goal game, something like that.
Yeah, especially that opportunity there would have been perfect, and it was just not the best of passes there.
Theodorovic, he has threaded the needle on some fantastic passes to clear. He'll load up for another really long one. He laid that in. This is trouble. Empty netter.
Just, yeah, left the net empty and had all the space and time in the world to get that in, and does. Gonna sting a little bit for the Hornets.
Yeah, that's Dylan Skura. You say, well, it's from long range, but it's also empty net. Skura, 9:09 left in the third quarter, trims it to 5-3. For Dylan Skura, that's going to be goal number 5 on the season. I tried to not say anything about the
I
face-off,
stayed
Smile.
really quiet. Did you hear me? I
know,
really stayed
it's-
quiet.
It's the most pregnant of pauses. Skinner, ooh, he wanted to take the shot with the long stick. Not his forte, not what he spends a whole lot of time doing, but he got the look in his eye. Skinner did eventually lose it, and it's turned over. Now the keeper, Doyle, has it.
I think everybody on the broadcast heard that pause that I think both me and you took during that face-off there.
It's a shame. Now this does help as they turn it over in their own end. Van Galder will bring it back in. And the Nets, they go quick. They got Mitchell Van Galder. And the brothers connect.
And that's how you do it. Another quick one, almost like a catch and shoot. Beauty to watch those go in.
4 years, or a little less than 4 years ago, they both came in here from Matawan, both local products, and they've made a mark. 6-3.
Mitchell Van Galder.
Yeah, it feels good to take back that empty net one.
Yeah, now it's completely erased in my mind, I think. Mitchell Van Galder with 2. And what have we here? Plesher picking up the ground ball on a face-off win. Now for Asnes.
Oh!
And it's raining goals right now.
I mean, wow, and that was in transition, really. I mean, it looked like the Eagles were still setting up their defense there, and it was quick by Kalamazoo, and now you just add it to the Add it to the score sheet.
It took one single face-off out of 11 to get 2 goals in the blink of an eye. That's insane.
That's actually crazy.
Asnes, 8:23, third quarter. That is 13 seconds between goals. 7-3 Kalamazoo, their biggest lead of the day. And I didn't want to say anything. What a shot put on two by Brody Quinn, the freshman Fogo. He got that for everything that it was worth. Now the Hornets will be somewhat unsurprisingly whistled for a violation, but I think Quinn would tell you that's worth it.
Yeah, I kind of got to agree there. It is a little worth it. Now a little bit of a slip and slide.
Yeah, they just gave it back. Oscar Sears with a table topping right there. And now you see the guy that took the hit there, he's going to come off. That's Dylan Langley.
Yeah, a little bit of a hobble. He looks to be all right.
There is a standard of physicality now in this program. It literally, it jumps off the screen at you. Saved as well from Graves. From behind goal with Luke Grant. Eagles have kind of had the rug pulled, and nothing's going to be easy. Nets knock this out of the air. Ouch. A team turnover back with the yard sale in the middle there for good measure, and the Eagles will keep it down there. They have responded, but that's only because it was the Kalamazoo punch in the face with those 2 goals in the 13 seconds.
Yeah, so definitely Kalamazoo is just going to continue to take this back. And now another slip and slide.
From the seat of his pants, Luke Grant. Boy, if he could have held on to that, that'd been fantastic.
I actually would have been almost one of the plays of the day if he could have held on to that one.
Grant does actually retain possession. That's incredibly impressive. You got to tip your cap. Now, we got a whistle. I think this is well away from the ball. We'll see if they can figure out what we're looking at. I don't see a flag down.
Yeah, me neither. Not exactly sure what the whistle's calling for.
I wonder if Grant jumped the ready for play, maybe? Well, we got a zebra party here. That's my first guess on it, is Grant maybe moved a little bit too early. Usually then you just go team turnover. Nonetheless, this ball's loose on the deck. Bunch of Nets, bunch of Eagles. And it's Grant. He's mugged again from Bungart. I can't say it's going to get old, because it's not.
It never does.
This is just awesome.
It never does get old. I mean, just, wow.
On such a mission for the ball, that one singular object. Bungart, another cause turnover. Nets now got plenty of time on this possession. They got the 4-goal lead. They got just about everything working here in the quarter. Adkins with his left. He's got room. Plunked. There's a rebound to be had. Asnes. And now you got a whistle. Where was it, though? It's a timeout.
Woo.
Me oh my. The Nets came out of this quarter strong, I think.
No, yeah, that's one way to put it. I think strong is definitely a term I would use, and I think it has to go down to that probably halftime conversation that they had. Beautiful coming out of the half so far.
The Hornets clears have taken the slightest of steps back right now. They're at 15 out of 18. I still think they'll totally live with that. They're allowing 67% clears. That is a good number. So Benedictine is 10 out of 15 clearing the ball themselves. The Hornets have the 3-1 edge in this quarter. If it weren't for the one little lapse with the empty netter, you'd be looking at, a 5-goal game that feels like more when you're suffocating people defensively.
Yeah, and I also think that the Hornets did not let that slide, that empty goal net, and immediately responded after, and it kind of felt like they almost had a vendetta after that. So definitely took advantage of sometimes you need a little bit of something to be like, you know what, I'm going to get my leg back basically. So good to see that. And I mean, like honestly, there's nothing more to say other than that they're playing super strong out of the half. And if they can just continue to stretch that, that's what we're going to see for the remainder of this quarter and the remainder of the fourth quarter.
It's funny, too. Nobody from this current Kalamazoo program was around the last time that Benedictine snapped their program best start. Nobody on either side, in fact, was around. That was 5 years and 1 day ago, believe it or not, that Benedictine won that. And then last season, as Kalamazoo also took on Benedictine, that was the Cam Van Galder legacy game with the 10 goals. The history between these two for a non-conference, you've got NACC opponent Benedictine here, MIAA Kalamazoo. It's kind of bitter, the rivalry.
It really is, and I think Kalamazoo, again, just sometimes you need that reason, and maybe that's the reason today.
Yeah, they're taking it out. All the frustration, all the aggressions, even for a team that started 3-0, there's things that they haven't been thrilled about. There's Asness that's still loose. Asness just batted it back. Now, you had a couple of long sticks, and I think the last one to touch it was Brunken. Team turnover does come here, so they should be able to clear. Though we've thought that before, and then Bungart just goes and takes it away again.
Yeah, again, it never gets old.
And I don't think they got this out in time. They didn't. Little bit of a mental mistake that time, more even than procedural. Van Galder out to Asness, and the Hornets, they have a good chance to not quite put it away, but seriously, a 5-goal lead would feel like a monumental challenge at this point.
Definitely. Something definitely that they're looking to kind of get to. What you're looking for is just really to grow that lead as much as you can.
Oh, I think that was supposed to be a backhand in a ton of traffic to Teague Breeden. Adkins swung, missed a little bit trying to poke this loose, and it is a good clear. That time for Hulbert. Four and a half minutes now to play, third quarter. Hornets 7-3 here at home.
And it looks like now finally the Eagles on offense.
Yeah, they have spent next to zero time attacking in the entire quarter, truly. And that empty net possession took but a handful of seconds.
Exactly.
Almost halfway through the clock.
Oh.
Diallo, he's mugged. Didn't quite come loose. He's able to stick with it. Skura, he was the beneficiary of the empty net. Now finally picked up by Diallo. He is pestered tight from Graff. Back out for Luke Grant. Grant wants a drive. He takes a little shot from Plesher. Grant, wide. 9 more seconds should be on this shot clock.
And I see a flag maybe on the field.
Oh, yeah, it is. That's far out near the Kalamazoo bench. And I think they're going to get Plesher again. That'll be his second one. The first one was tripping.
And this one might be maybe a shove. I'm not exactly sure here. I didn't see a lot on it, to be honest.
You speculate push. I'm going to just close my eyes, pick one out of a hat, and say slash. I don't know. It is officially a cross check. Real close. Nonetheless, man up, 1 minute, Eagles. They're 0 of 1 for the day in these situations. And that penalty will line up pretty close to what they had on the shot clock as well. Couple pump fakes. Came loose and right to the keeper, Charles Graves. Up for Skinner. Skinner off for 24 Sears.
Yeah, good ball movement there. Able to pass it back and kind of reset themselves a little bit.
Plesher not quite released yet. Honda now handling for the Hornets. And here is Vincent Tran again. Tran, as we mentioned earlier, making his season debut today. Tran up for Ethan Hibsch. Asnes from the X spot. Out to Honda, now Van Galder, left wing. Back for Asnes. 20 on the clock.
I'm just trying to stretch out the field and
Little misconnection over the shoulder of Mitchell Van Galder.
they kind of had a nice series going. Thought they were really working to stretch out that field, as I mentioned, and open up the middle. Then kind of just mistimed that pass there, and it would just kind of broke them up.
I think Coach Redco would live with that for the fact that you did kill off that penalty and just everything else that you've done defensively. It truly can mask. What an interception. Now are they going to give it right back?
They
You'd love
are.
to see a little bit better capitalization.
Yeah, but I think it was Lucas Graf with just an amazing interception there.
Yeah, it's been Graf, it's been Daly, it's Bungart. Every long stick. Colby Skinner, a couple caused turnovers. Whew. It's suffocating. It's scary. Eagles will not be able to burn off this quarter, presumably on the shot clock. You've got 50 right now and about 62 seconds for the quarter. Grant out to Skura. Now 32, Schroeder. Schroeder, good feed in for Skura, wide. Not a lot of shots on goal. I mean, it's been probably since the empty netter that we've seen one. I had to say something. That is Smur's top shelf scored.
I'm going to put this one on you, Tanner. I hate to say it, but that one just kind of had to turn around the goal, and then it was in before we could even say anything.
I don't know if I've ever seen it happen so fast. I'm stunned. I'm taken aback. Nonetheless, Brody Quinn is going to go back to take the faceoffs for the Nets. Quinn and Jack Whalen. Whalen obviously has dominated that spot so far. He continues to do so. Now, wonder if Whalen would be one of the rare guys, rather, to consider taking a shot from there. Oh, talk about your miscommunications between Whalen and Elliott right there. They give it away.
Let's see if Hornet can come up with a good possession here.
Plesher carries it across, rather. 3-goal game, under 30 seconds here for the third quarter. Grayson Pratt brushed off, a little contact. Down to 15 seconds. Breeden sniped and scored.
Sharpshooter from long.
Teague Breeden puts one in with just 9.3 seconds. Beats the buzzer a little bit. Breeden's second on the year.
That was just, you had to have eyes for that one. I mean, that's just good awareness by Teague.
Teague Breeden.
Now, really, I mean, they're only going to have to play it out for just under 10 seconds.
You'd still like to see a clean face-off win for Kalamazoo. Not a chance. Whalen continues to completely dominate those opportunities, really.
And then I see flag on the field.
Oh, yeah, we might see this enforced between the quarters. You don't always get this, but we'll sort it out during this quarter break. 15 more minutes now. Lost in it all. Still Kalamazoo 4-goal lead. What did you see in that third quarter, and what do they got to do in the fourth?
I think, honestly, you couldn't plan it out any better. I really think Kalamazoo came out strong out of the half. I mean, you're going to have to scratch out that open net goal. There was one that I'm really just placing blame on you, Tanner. It was just a little quick around there. But other than that, I think movement has been good for Kalamazoo. Offensive defense has been there. It's really just going to be continuing to stretch that and really making an effort to hold the Eagles at just 4. I think they're able to do it. I think they're able to kind of just stop the Eagles from scoring in that fourth quarter. If they can do that, I think they're definitely going to obviously come out with a win here if they hold the Eagles. I mean, if they start to get a little too confident, a little too cocky almost, then maybe the Eagles start to come back. But really, if they can just hold on for these final 15 minutes, we're looking for a W for Kalamazoo.
Maya, how many cause turnovers do you think Kalamazoo planned on getting today? So their average for the season, 14. Fantastic number. Their number right now through 3 quarters, 14. You have 5 for Graff, 4 for Bungart, and then sprinkled throughout with Plesher, Van Galder, Sexton, Skinner, Oscar Sears. G's.
Yeah, G's is one way to put it. Just again, like overall, I mean, pretty strong game for Kalamazoo. Again, there's some small little minor details I think they can still fix up. Definitely one of the most major ones is going to be that face-off, right? But other than that, I mean, I really think that it's been a solid start. Solid game really for Kalamazoo.
Charles Graves' numbers in goal show 5 saves, 4 goals allowed. That could greatly, I think, understate his impact to the game.
Oh, definitely, and it's kind of crazy, right? Because the goalies come down to that final line of defense, and I really think that's really what's setting up Kalamazoo for success. Is that their final line of defense is just so strong right now.
And Colin Doyle on the other side in goal, 8 saves and 8 goals allowed, so he's at 50%. That would very certainly discredit his impact on the game because he has certainly kept it from getting a whole lot worse.
Yeah, definitely kept it from getting out of hand.
Couple of juggles. This is shoveled underhand from James Daly to the keeper, Graves. Plesher to try and clear himself. Plesher going to need some help out there. Plesher feeds one, and Galder could have been there and maybe had another good look at the doorstep.
Yeah, just a misplaced pass there, and just that would have been a beauty. He would have been one-on-one there.
Good clear for Benedictine this time with Lafreniere. An 8-4 lead for Kalamazoo here in the fourth quarter. 29 shots to 22. They've got 5 assists too on their 8 goals. Underrated, but the ball movement today on attack.
Oh yeah, definitely underrated, and definitely something to keep an eye on. Is just how good they're moving around the field. Something that the Eagles, I mean, they've been working on. I'm seeing the movement around the outside, but they're having just trouble breaking in. A lot of their goals just coming out from a little long or just super close.
Getting a little piece. This will be loose for a moment. Now it's scooped back up. 37, Dardis. Skura's at the point right now. Good shot, right wing. Get that out of here. They should still have it down in the Kalamazoo end. Here's Leif Sigmund. Sigmund on the ready for play. He certainly was looking to jump that whistle. Now, everybody's looking at each other. A standoff.
Waiting to restart now.
18 seconds on the shot clock is what we're looking at right now, and 12:59 in regulation. Are they counting it down a little bit on the shot clock? Yes, they just moved it all the way down to 6 seconds. This becomes a lot more difficult. Gonna really have to put it up right now, or just take the violation. Okay. Shot clock violation. That's the easiest one Kalamazoo will ever force.
Now trying to get them on transition maybe a little.
Skinner did pass it out so far for Plesher as to probably nullify that opportunity. Now Honda working on attack. Tate Bless coming back in for a little rotation here. Asnes at the X. He'll pivot, see if he wants to stuff it in maybe or go backhand. He'll give it off for Hebsch. Hebsch going to need some help himself. This is up to Cam Van Galder. Van Galder, good help defense from Hulbert.
Yeah, almost lost his footing too a little bit.
And great
Oh.
feed and scored. Asnes from Honda.
Yeah, that was just good movement from Asnes, and then good placement there. Quick turnaround shot, score. I mean, you could have planned it out any better, I'm telling you. Just gonna continue to grow that lead, and exactly what I was kind of talking about. They can continue to push this lead. I mean, it's really kind of just putting away the game for them.
Asnes just made it 9-4. That is the largest lead of the day again for the Nets. And that is a face-off win for Jack Whalen. Perhaps we have seen that before today. Well, 11 minutes, 40 seconds. Kalamazoo 5 scores to the good. Doyle doing some handling. He hasn't had to do a whole lot of that, especially yet in this second half. Good clear. Eagles trailing by 5. Where do they get it from? I gotta stop doing this, but that is Langley from up top. Sniped.
Yeah, and I keep saying how they kind of have trouble breaking into that center part of that field, and I mean, it looks like they're just going to settle for that long shot. I mean, hey, it's working out for them. I mean, they added one more to their side, but luckily, again, that's why it's so important to have that cushion, as the Hornets can kind of have a little bit of breathing room to move around with that, kind of take that and just forget about it, and hopefully just continue to grow their own lead.
Quinn got his money's worth, decking Whalen. Now, ooh, you got a couple of guys down here. Whalen was the first, unsurprisingly, the Fogo who bore the brunt of it. Then you had another defender back down there that hopped up. I believe that was 36, Lilich. But we got to stop, and we got a trainer coming out there anyway.
Yeah, I kind of took a hard fall.
What you can say about Brody Quinn with the faceoffs, he brings the necessary attitude. And Sam Hughes was exactly that same kind of guy. But that contact, 1, certainly could have been whistled. 2, it can be a little bit dangerous if it's right in the back.
Yeah, a little hard coming in there, and maybe something that you're going to think twice about for the next time.
And that's 2 freshman Fogos, by the way. You don't always see that. Of course, it's, the non-con season, right? And you might let some guys try some different things or get a look at who is going to do what for you best when you get to your conference season. But, yeah, Whalen and Brody Quinn matching up just about every face-off so far, both freshmen. Eagles down 9-5. They did answer in just 38 seconds after the last Kalamazoo goal.
Oh, good movement there.
A mauling again from Skinner. He knocked it loose. Now Plesher picked it up on a ground ball. Plesher, pass to Skinner. Asnes moved it. Van Galder sized it up. Oh, that one's going to hurt too.
And it was just such good placement by the Hornets that you wanted it to go in.
And surprisingly, Cam Van Galder, remember, he had the career-high 10 goals and the program record 10 goals last time out against Benedictine. You thought maybe he was poised for a massive one. It could have been a pretty big day for him with just a couple of connections like that had they been netted. Instead, you've seen Mitchell Van Galder on the score sheet a little bit more today. Pratt comes on right now, and this will come on one hop to him. Grayson Pratt, he got himself a goal with just 20 seconds to go until the half. Gave him 4 on the year. See if he'll look to blow by, or he'll give it back now for Van Galder. Van Galder for Pratt wide, but you got nothing but Hornets down there.
Perfect, get to maintain possession, kind of create another goal-scoring opportunity here.
This time it's Adkins, dips, save with the stick.
Yeah, and I seen that kind of open passage there that the Eagles left open. Just got lucky there with the save.
I still see Doyle's strongest work coming all stick side.
Definitely.
Has struggled certainly more so to his left. Doyle in the face of Van Galder right now, making him think a little. And we got a whistle, I think, offside.
Full team violation, maybe. Well, it's going to be possession back with the Hornets.
Under 9 minutes, that lead, 9-5. Tran for Hibsch. Hibsch to draw some eyes to him. Mitchell Van Galder sizing it up, out for Asnes. Hibsch lost it, got it back. Honda off a screen from Hibsch, shot, bounced. And Honda decked after.
Talk about a shot off there. A lot of power behind it.
45 seconds more on the shot clock. Mitchell Van Galder doing a lot of ball handling here. Now flags from, yeah, that's going to be an easy one. And the Hornets going to go man down. Oh, excuse me. Here I was thinking they had gotten Tran. No, in fact, they're giving it to 33, Lilich, the defender. I think you had such a pile up of bodies, too, as to have people looking in a couple of places.
That was a little hard to tell, especially, like you said, just so traffic heavy.
So slash on Cooper Lilich, now that's enforced. Hornets man up a minute. They are 0 for 2.
See if they can make something happen here. Working around the X now.
Pratt, a strong pass, down low angle, wide. Pratt will get another chance.
And we've seen a couple of those shots by the Hornets, and then they just always come out just a little bit wide.
Replay, it's blocked. Just keep firing those. You got plenty of time. Breeden to bring it in. He scored the Hornets' last one. Back for Breeden. Pratt, a try, saved. And a pretzel. He is twisted up, and Doyle comes up with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get that stretch routine.
I know. It is admirable. This is loose in their own end. Oh, that could spell disaster.
Yeah, definitely not something the Eagles wanted to give up, and that was just unfortunate.
And they're getting some new bodies on, too. Kalamazoo should have a great opportunity. Van Galder, all the room, saved!
Oh, and with the save, I mean, crazy, really. I thought that was going to be in for the Hornets.
Yeah, one of the better looks that they've had. Doyle really picking it up, even as he still finds himself trailing 9-5. It could be a whole lot worse. Eagles by no means out of this thing. Stays a 4-goal game.
Yeah, and after the long break, finally on the offense.
Schroeder for Langley. Langley at the point right now, moves it over for Elliott. And save. Graves is thinking, I've been a little bit bored in this fourth quarter. What's going on here? 25 shots overall for the Eagles. Just 12 of those on goal.
Oh.
Oh no.
Big flag coming down with that one.
Van Galder is up now, but had he not gotten up, I would not have been surprised. Yeah, Brunken, I think, is it's going to be an easy one, too.
Yeah, discussing now. That was just a hard hit.
Oh, boy. Van Galder somehow looks fine, looks unfazed. My only question is, what do they want to call this? You could put a lot of words to it, and it probably wouldn't sum up. It always comes down to intent, right?
Exactly.
And if you launch, if you kind of leave the feet, it's hard to say that there's not some intent to it.
Yeah, definitely a lot. Just a really strong hit. It's hard to say, as you said, that there was no intent in that, and I'm really could go either way.
We haven't gotten it from the table quite yet. But we do know Brunken's going to be on a knee there for a while. Hornets, man up. The other penalty had just expired too, so you get, very, very little respite for that Eagles D. Pratt, just high off the top bar.
Yeah, that was a good look too.
Officially called cross-check, just 1 minute on Brunken. That would be releasable. Mitchell Van Galder out for Asnes. Cam Van Galder, if he's seeing 3 goals, he'll just have to shoot at the one in the middle! Oh, it's the side of the goal.
I have to say, I thought that one was in. And that just into the side, I believe, and tripped up and everything.
Oh boy. It's a little ugly right now. It's 9-5, and we don't mean ugly on the scoreboard.
Yeah, just a
It's
little
ugly
choppy on the
between
field.
the lines. Van Galder still looking for his. He's not going to get it here. This is a little wide. Cam Van Galder not scored in this one, believe it or not. That's Pratt, had a great look. He is dumped too. As this rebound, kaboom!
Talk about the rebound, shoot, score from long.
Hat trick for Asnes, and the Nets are doubling them up.
Wow. Just a shot off there, and I mean, can't get any better than that.
Goal by number 10, Jake Asnes.
That is Asnes from a Honda.
The crowd loved that one. That one was a crowd favorite.
And I think you have a violation on Quinn. You do. Face-off numbers, well, the Nets have still won exactly one of them. 10-5, their lead. Not to take anything away from, really, the performance just about everywhere else. Freshman keeper, the attack been very balanced. Feel good with just about everybody. 4.5 minutes here. Eagles in desperation mode.
And again, it's just working around the outside, trying to find an open passage or maybe a long shot that they can sneak in. Yeah, and that's just going to be all credit to the Kalamazoo defense.
I misspoke. That was actually score number 4 for Asnes. The one from Honda was the prior one. So, really turning into a career day for him. Also credited with 4 ground balls. Under 4 minutes for the Nets to try and close this out here on the MAC. Ethan Hibsch handling. Now Tate Bless. Hibsch sized up by Colin Piedmont. Honda to Asnes behind goal. Asnes bluffed a pass. Zach Metz also loves to say, fake a pass to make a pass. Asnes, will he get himself one more? Under 15 on the clock. Honda wrapping around, see if he comes back to the short side. Pass broken up. And it was loose down there for a while, then a shot blocked, and now the ground ball to Brunken. His penalty was released. The Nets looked like they were going to go over on the man-ups.
Yeah, and it's one of the better defensive possessions from the Eagles that I've seen there, and able to kind of get a turnover.
Under 2.5 minutes, though.
Just working around the outside as per usual here.
And shot a little bit wide from Aiden Elliott. Elliott's been the leading shooter. Nobody on the Eagles side with more than one score, though. They got 5 different guys that have scored, but just one apiece. 5 goals, not going to get you much of anything. In all likelihood, it looks like they're going to fall to 1-5 on the season, and the Hornets are going to tie that best start in program history.
Yeah, and it's just, I mean, just credit to a good game here as they're trying to close it out here. I mean, just under 2 minutes.
One more save from Graves.
And I think the Hornets are probably going to try to stretch out this possession as much as they can. Try to take out seconds from that clock.
Yeah, as it stands right now, the shot clock won't be turned off. But they can get pretty close. Less than 20 seconds probably. Maybe 25. Adkins and Pratt. Now you play some keep away. And Coach Redco built this program from the ground up. 2016, the first year, and to have a chance now at the best start in program history their next time out. Shivers, Maya, shivers.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just a show-out game from the Hornets today. Really, just under a minute.
Grayson Pratt handling. He's got 1 score. See if somebody might be willing to put this up in the last 15 seconds of the clock or so. Asnes looking for one more. Stuffed. Doyle had one last chance, and that's a dozen saves for him. After the rebound, it looks like the Nets will probably be able to run this out.
Yeah.
Excuse me, make that 13 saves for Doyle on 23 shots on goal against about 57%.
Yeah, Hornets definitely going to be able to just to jog this one out.
Adkins, well, he had something to say here with Dominic Flores, who's the one pestering here for the last couple seconds.
Kind of just see him shaking, nodding his head.
Well, the Nets are 4-0 for just the second time in program history. They tie their best start ever. Coach Redco licking his chops the rest of the way. You're not going to quite have the conference opener yet, their next time out. That is going to be 2 weeks from today. In fact, just about 2 weeks from right now, they'll be back out here against Carthage. But man, a lot to be excited about. It starts on defense. That is quite evident. Talk about it.
Yeah, exactly that. And you said, like, how is it going to look for the rest of the season? Well, I'll tell you what, if Kalamazoo can continue to play just as they did today, clean up some other minor adjustments, we're really looking for a positive season. I mean, this is just good play from the Hornets. You talked about defense, and that's what it really came down to on both sides. Eagles, I felt like the defense just wasn't really there for them today, right? I really just, I from up here in the booth could see open passages, and the Hornets, on the field just elite ball awareness and just knowing where they're all at on the field and using each other to the key, using that X really well today. It was just offense, defense, everything coming together. Again, some small minor things that I think we could still clean up and improve upon, but overall just a great clean game and something that if they can continue to push on to the rest of the season, for the rest of the games, conference play, this is something really positive to look forward to.
Charles Graves, the Hornets freshman keeper, undefeated, a perfect 4-0 so far through every minute in goal, all 240 of them. He saved 6 today, gives up the 5 goals. That's about a 55% percentage. On the other side, truly cannot take anything away from the performance of Colin Doyle in goal for the Eagles. He makes 13 saves on 23 shots on goal against. That was about 57%. The Hornets offensively led by Jake Asness with the career high 4 scores. Asness also with 5 ground balls to tie for the lead. Defensively, you know the guys. It was Lucas Graff, we saw the breakout game from him today, the junior long stick, and Jack Bungart. You can't call it a breakout. This guy was just on a national team of the week. He was just the MIAA's reigning defensive player of the week. Now you're going to have to look at all the performances and say, well, we kind of want to give it to him again. He is a menace, a monster.
Truly. I feel like we should just add a little maybe screen graphic of how many times he can cause those turnovers, how many times he can poke that ball out.
And all told, the stats read like this. Kalamazoo 10-5. They shoot 45 times, 6 assists on their 10 goals as well. Benedictine gets 5 goals from 5 different goal scorers. They had 1 apiece for Skura, Smurs, Elliott, Diallo, and Langley. Rounding out the Hornets scoring after Asness' 4, you had Mitchell Van Galder with a couple. Max Plesher had the very first one. Dylan Adkins, Grayson Pratt, Teague Breeden getting his 2nd of the year. All told, Nets 4-0 again for just the 2nd time in program history. 2 weeks from today, you won't want to miss it. The Hornets will be back here against Carthage. Well, we hope you've enjoyed this evening. For Hornet Lacrosse, here at the MAC, here at Kalamazoo College, for the first time with Kalamazoo Lacrosse, for Maya Pasillas, for the, I've lost track of number of times, for myself, but that's all right again. As always, thank you for having us. Tanner White and Maya Pasillas for Kalamazoo Lax. Thanks so much, and we hope you'll join us next time.